with our lessons. What we are going to do today is to discuss some of the writing pieces that are required in your blended material. The first one is found in your blended material on page 9, and it is about an application form for a foundation course. This is what you are required to do. Application, just a moment, application form for a foundation course. This is what they will ask you about. Right. Before beginning with discussing the ideas that we can put in this application form, I will show you an ad or an advertisement that ask people to apply for an application or for a foundation course by filling in a foundation an application form and mention the aims of writing or for applying for a foundation course. Why do people try to apply for a foundation course? Just a moment. So sorry, something went wrong with the program. I hope it will be recovered again. Yes, this is an ad for foundation courses. It mentioned the reasons why people apply for a foundation course. Some students feel that starting a university course is something they don't want to do immediately after they've left school. And after you finish Tawjihi, you might find out that you don't want to start university immediately and you want to apply for a foundation course. And this is for the following reasons. Now, perhaps they think they'd have a better chance of being accepted after further study. They will have a better chance to be accepted at the university. Then either they'd get more out of university study once they've extended. They will be better at the university if they have a foundation course first, or they maybe want to study abroad, so they need to have a foundation course, for example, to be more able in speaking the language of the country that they want to go on with their education there. So they have a foundation course in the language of that country. These are the reasons that made people apply for a foundation course. Now, we have here an example of a foundation course. Application form for a foundation course. And how can we write it? First, you have to write your basic information. Look here, I have the name. And when you write your name, you write the first name and the family name or the surname. Pay attention, if you are in the Tawjih exam, you have to write the name of the one they gave you in the question. You are Fulan Fulani, huh? So you don't write your real names. Pay attention to this. So here the writer is Maria Pendleton. Her age is 18, like you, and the title of the course she is applying for is environmental studies. So you mention basic information, your name, your age, and then you write the title of the course that you want to apply for. Here, as we said, she put environment studies. Now, we are going to read her application form and see what does she put in each paragraph. As you can notice, this is the question. Please explain in about 200 words your reasons for choosing the course, this course. طبعا in the توجيه exam, they will provide you with the name of the course also. I will give you now, after we finish discussing the ideas of the application form, I will give you some examples of questions in the previous years in توجيه exams, and you will find out that they assign the name of the course by themselves. You are not going to choose it. So pay attention to be ready for that. Now, you are going to give reasons for choosing the course, your experience in the field, and how you expect your interest in the subject to develop. This is what you are going to mention. Now, I want you, ya Reem Ibrahim, to read the first paragraph that Maria wrote in order to know what does she mention here? What is the idea? What is the information that she be put or should be put in paragraph 1? Yes, Yarim, read.
What page in the normal book?
In the normal book, it is page 12.
Okay.
Yes.
I am applying for this course because shall I like fill the gaps?
Yes, give me the gaps filled, please. Like the ones on my book. Can you see our screen, Yarim?
No, my internet is not very well, good.
It's not a matter. You read with the gaps filled, please.
But I don't know what's the filling of the gaps.
You don't know the answer. So excuse me, Yarim. We will move to someone else to read, and I will let you read later on in other activities. Ibrahim, can you read? Ibrahim Ahmed.
Okay. I'm applying for this course because I have been interested in the subject of environment for many years, and I would like to work in this field as a career in the future. I have been reading books about environment science since I was 9 years old, so I know quite a lot about the basic ideas, but I need to extend what I already know.
So
At the
what do you
moment,
think, just a moment here, Ibrahim, what do you think the idea or the things that Maria put in the first paragraph, what does she talk about? When she said, I'm applying for this course because, so she gave the reasons, reasons for choosing this course, for the choice. And then, in addition to the reason, she said, I have been reading books about environmental science since I was 9 years old. What is this? She talks about her previous experience in this field. So in paragraph 1, you should talk about the reasons for choosing, including your previous experience in the field of the foundation course. تمام؟ طيب go on يا إبراهيم. Read paragraph 2. At the moment. طيب Ahmed, can you go on?
At the moment, I am studying biology, geography, and English as my main subject at school, and I believe these subjects will all be useful in the career career have chosen. I have chosen since I started secondary school. I have been a member أكمل
of the school
of the school environment society and have been a president of the society for the last 2 years.
Yes. What is the idea? What does she mention here? What does she talk about? At the moment, I'm studying biology, geography, and English. She talks about her present studies. يعني the subjects that she studies at school related to the foundation course she's applying for. So present studies. تمام. Pay attention. English could be a main subject that can be mentioned in any foundation course. Also, she talks about her interest in the subject since she was young. So the interest in the subject. So in paragraph 1 again, we mentioned the reasons for the choice. Then our previous experience in it when we were younger. Then we mentioned in paragraph 2 the present studies. I mean the subjects that are related to the course we are applying for and we studied at the school, and then how our interest in the subject developed. Look here, she said I started secondary school. I have been a member of the school environment society. You can mention which club or which society at the school that you were active in, and it is related to the subject or to the course that you are applying for. Let's move to the last paragraph. Read, please. Someone to read, please. Yes, Ibrahim, go on with paragraph 3.
After finishing my final exam in June, I plan to spend a year doing this course, and I will then apply to university to study environment science. My general aim is to study climate change and especially its impact on ocean life. I believe this is one of the most important problems that we face in the
21st century. In
21st
this century, yes. Thank you, Ibrahim. In this paragraph, she talks about her future plans after doing the course. The future plans, what she is going to do after she finishes the course, and how will it affect or have a benefit on her study at the university after this application. Now, the last statement can be considered as a paragraph, and it is a closing statement for any application, whatever the course that you are applying for. It is, I hope my application is successful and I'm looking forward to studying at your college. It is the statement that you have to close your application form with. So these are the ideas that are, or that should be mentioned in your application form for a foundation course. Now, I will show you some of the example questions that were in توجيهي exams, previous توجيهي exams. You can have a screenshot for them. Look here, for example, in 2021, we have a question which is, you are Susan Ali, you are interested in embroidery and sewing in general. So they assign the course, what should it be with or for? Write an application form to Dar al-Ibadah Center applying for a handmade crafts. This is the course that Suzanne Ali is going to apply for. تمام. These may help explain the reasons for choosing the course, about your experience in this field, and about how you expect your interest in the subject to develop. This is after you finish your future plans, after you finish the course, how will you benefit from it in your study at the university. If you can
Teacher,
notice. Yes, yeah, Ibrahim.
now this question I will write from my mind about the information that he gave me, or there is like something we have to memorize and just fill it.
هلا in the application form that we have read, yeah, Ibrahim, you can take some example sentences from it, and you can change, for example, the name of the course. For example, what have you been doing to develop your interest in it, depending on the course that you are applying for. تمام؟ يعني نستخدم النموذج اللي عندنا توجيهي، لكن بنغير بعض الاشياء اللي تتناسب مع الموضوع المطلوب. يعني here they ask you to apply for a handmade crafts course. In the second one, the application for a course in information and technology. You are not going to write the same as environmental studies that Maria wrote, but you can get some in some statements from it. When you say, for example, I would like to work in this field as a career in the future. So you can get some example sentences from it that suits the course that you are applying for. If you can notice, they changed the name of the course, but the ideas are the same. But here, for example, say why you are applying for the course. This is the same as reasons for choosing the course. Your experience in climbing, it is the same about your experience in the field. Things you would like to do in the club, that is how you expect your interest in this subject will develop. They add something about the difficulties that you might face because it is related to mountain climbing, for example, applying for a mountain climbing club. Clear يا توجيهي؟ I have, for example, here one sample of that you can benefit from when you write application form foundation for a foundation course. I hope that it is the one that I want. Yes, that's it. So can you see it on the chat? توجيهي, are you there? Can you hear me? Something wrong went with my internet connection. I will try to return back. توجيه, can you see my screen? If anyone can hear me, you can answer, the ones that are unmuted.
أستاذ سامعك أنا، بس الشاشة عندي ظاهرة لقت الأسماء والصور.
Just I will try to return back. Something wrong went with my laptop, but I shared from my phone. You can't see the screen. Yes, can you see the screen now? Is it clear? توجيهي.
شايفها بس صغيرة يا أستاذ
Yes,
الصورة.
I will make it larger, but I want to make sure that you can see it. So this is an application form for a computer science foundation course. As you can see it, we are not going to read it. It is in the same way. I will move slowly to enable you to have screenshots for it if you like. No need to read it. It is in the same way. If you can notice, there are some statements repeated from the symbol that is in the book that we have discussed. If it is like this, you can have a screenshot for all of it, and then you can make it larger in your phone. Tamam? This is the first piece of writing that is required from you, and it is in unit 1, as we said, in the blended material. Now, the second piece is from unit 3, which was about coincidences, if you remember, it is on page 26 in your blended material here. This is the question, and it is on page 32, 33 on in the original book. Let's read the question, please. Yeah, Hala, read the question, please. Hala, are you there?
أي صفحة يا مس؟
It is page 26 in the blended material, page 30, 33 or 34 in your original book. It is page 33.
Number the sentences in the correct order to make the story. Look carefully at the underlined words and
No,
think
not
about
this
how.
one. Yeah, Hala, excuse me, please. Read the question that is required for writing in توجيه exam. Write your own story. Have you found it?
تمام. Write your own story about a strange coincidence or a misunderstanding. It can be a true story about something that happened to you or someone you know, or made up story. Before writing, think about these points. Who are the people in the story? What happened? Where and when? How will you join the story together? And what tenses will you use?
Good. So we are required to write a story about a strange coincidence, and we discussed what are coincidences in details in this unit. It could be the story, I mean, could be about a strange coincidence or a misunderstanding. If you remember the story of the one who came to the hotel very late and then he made something wrong with someone who he thought that he was his colleague, that this was a misunderstanding. Now, you are going to write your own story about either a coincidence or a misunderstanding, but I want you to pay attention. If this question came in the توجيه exam, pay attention whether they are asking you to write a coincidence or a misunderstanding. Pay attention to this. This is number one. The story could be about you or someone you know. If you don't have your true story, made it up, invented. Imagine a story that happened with you. The main things that should be in the story, who are the people in the story? If you are talking about stories, the characters of the story, but they are real people, by the way. One of them might be you or someone of your family, I don't know. Then what happened in that story? Where and when? Where is the coincidence in the story? Where did it happen? When did it happen? And what are the details? What were the events in that story? How will you join the story together? Yani what connectors or linking words are you going to join the events together? And what tenses will you use? Because we are talking about a story, what tenses are we going to use in this story? Hi, توجيه. What should we use the present tenses for such stories? Yeah. It's a story at توجيه, so we should use past tenses. It could be past simple, past continuous, past perfect, uh, depending on how you connect the ideas or the events together. I will give you some examples from the original book that discussed in details before coming to this question, but I will give you the final product of them. I hope nothing wrong will get on the way. This is one of the stories. Yeah, I want one of you to read the whole story to find out what was the coincidence, how did they join the ideas together. You can make use of it. You can write it as if it is your own story, if you like that story. So let's read. Someone to read, please. Should I choose? Shahid Salim, can you read, please? Yes, please, Shahid.
مس الشاشة مش واضحة عندي.
طيب, it's not a matter. Thank you, Shahid. We will choose someone else. Jamil Salim. Read يا جميل. But can I depend on you Hala, to read the story? If you can see my screen.
لا مش شايفاها.
You
الصورة
can't
مش
see it.
واضحة.
So I will read the story. I will read it. Yes, Ibrahim. Ibrahim, read. Thank you.
أحمد أستاذة.
Ahmed, يلا يا Ahmed, read. Thank you.
Samira was going for an interview. While she was walking to the building, she saw a man drop and a man. Okay. A man drop and empty sweet bucket out of this car window. She backed it up and gave it back to him. The man looked impressed and said sorry because embarrassed. Embarrassed and said sorry because she was a bit early. She went for a coffee and then went to the interview. أكمل?
Yes, please. It's a story.
As soon as she went in, she recognized the interviewer. It was the same man. Now she was the one who was embarrassed. She was sure be embarrassed. She was sure be recognized here, but he didn't say anything, and the interview carried on as normal. At the end, he shook her hand and thanked her. He seemed to thank her. He seemed to be smiling about something, but she was not sure. He said he would contact her the following week, so she doesn't know yet whether she got the job or not.
Or not. Yes. Is this a story of a strange coincidence or a misunderstanding, Ahmed? What do you think?
Please read the question again.
Is the story that you have read an example of a strange coincidence or a misunderstanding? Anyone else? Ibrahim, what do you think? Is it a story of a coincidence or a misunderstanding?
I'm Reem Ibrahim. It's a coincidence.
Sorry, so sorry for you. Yeah.
It's a coincidence. Strange coincidence.
It's a coincidence, yeah, because she was on her way to an interview. She saw a man throwing a bucket, an empty bucket of sweets on the ground. Now, she asked him to, or she gave it to him in order to, for example, throw it in the bin, rubbish bin. And then when she went to the interview, the man she saw in the morning throwing the bucket is the same man who interviewed her. And he interviewed her in the normal way. You can have a look at these pictures. They will show you that or give you an idea about this story. He interviewed her in the normal way, but she didn't know whether she will get the job or not after the coincidence that happened with her. You can make benefit or make use of this story to write your own coincidence or story coincidence. Here we have also some statements that when you put them together, they will give you also a strange coincidence. But unfortunately, I don't have time to discuss all of them. You can read them if you like, have screenshots for them. They are ordered. When you put them together in a form of a paragraph, you will get a strange coincidence. The question in the exam will be the same. Write your own strange story of a strange coincidence or a misunderstanding with the ideas that we discussed. Who are the people in the story? When, where, and what happened? And what are the? How are you going to connect the ideas? And what are the tenses that you are going to use? The last thing I have to show you is an example of another story, and you can read it after we finish in your free time. I think this one. It should be here. I will show it to you, and you can have screenshots for it now. That's it, يا توجيهي. Read it. If it is it clear first? Is it clear?
Yeah, but it's small.
Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah. Yes. So have a screenshot for it and make benefit of it for preparing your ideas and writing your own stories if you are asked to write about a strange coincidence or misunderstanding. I will stop now because I think you have other classes. So let me stop the recording. Yes.
ممكن سؤال.
Just a moment. Let me stop the recording first, and then you can ask. Yes.